If you wanted more Tesla, well, looks like you got it. Introducing the Tesla Model 3. If you want to see more content like this, you have to make sure that that button below says subscribe. We give away a $250 gift card to one lucky subscriber every month, and it could be you just for watching. So great content and free cash. What could be better than that? If you haven't heard about Tesla, you've probably been living under a rock. But there was a time that I remember that when you used to mention Tesla, you used to be made fun of. But now Tesla has become a renowned household name. And with the release of the Model 3 in 2018, everybody has been talking since then. Now, we don't just have one Model 3, we actually have 4 Model 3s today that we're going to be reviewing. These are 2022s. I'm going to get back to my Tesla roots, and I'm going to show you a review of the rear-wheel drive, which is the standard now, the long-range all-wheel drive, and I'm going to give you a nice tour of the interior, the exterior, and I'm going to finish the video off for my Canadian viewers because we are in Canada, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to maintain your range in the cold winter months of Canada when it dips below zero. So let's get to it. So as I just stated, we have 4 Model 3s here. 3 of them are rear-wheel drive, and 1 of them is a long-range all-wheel drive. Now, when I was starting at Tesla, the first release was the rear-wheel drive with a long-range battery, but now the rear-wheel drive is packed with a standard range battery. The rear-wheel drive gives you 1 rear motor and about 430 to 438 kilometers of range, with a 0 to 100 in 6.1 seconds. The upgrade to the long-range all-wheel drive dual motor ups your range from 538 to 576 kilometers, with 0 to 100 in 4.4 seconds. Now, the reason that you're going to lose range is because of your wheel choice. So the standard are the 18-inch aero wheels, which you see here. You can upgrade to the 19-inch sport wheels, though, which are a bit of a pricey option, and they actually bring your range down. Now, a lot of people are, it's a mixed bag of opinions when it comes to the aero wheels, but a lot of the times what people didn't know is that this can actually come right off. So I saved people a lot of money on this. You can actually pop off this aero wheel, and the center middle cap, you can actually buy the Tesla cap online and the lug nuts, so that way you have a nice gray steel rim underneath without having to pay the pricey option of the sport. Now, obviously, the all-wheel drive is going to give you some better handling and stability, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. Right now, I want to give you a tour of the exterior and the interior. Let's start at the front, where you have an empty engine bay deemed the frunk, where you have extra storage space. If you forget to close the hood, a safety latch will secure it. Now, here's a quick little demo, just in case you didn't know. If you are a Tesla owner, you are not meant to drop the hood. It is not a regular vehicle. You do not drop the hood like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring the hood down. You're going to place both palms on each side of the Tesla emblem, push down, and there you go. The 3 comes equipped with 8 cameras and 12 ultrasonic sensors, and comes with standard autopilot, which provides adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and advanced braking with collision warning. The upgrade to enhanced autopilot gives you self-driving capabilities, which include summon, navigate on autopilot, and auto park. Tag on the full self-driving capability to get all these functions, along with traffic sign and stop sign recognition and control. As the software updates roll out, your 3, when equipped, will essentially be completely drivable on its own as it improves over time. Now, as we go along the body of the vehicle, you'll see these aerodynamic handles, which are flush with the vehicle's door to make sure there's no extra wind resistance to ensure that you maintain your range. And when we move to the back of the vehicle, you're going to see a power lift gate. Now, they didn't start off this way, but they do have the power lift gate now. So with the touch of a button, the lift gate will open, so you have all the storage space back here, and you also have a hidden compartment that if you lift up, you can get some extra storage space there. There's an extra side pocket as well as the front, so you've got tons of storage space for whatever you need. When we head inside, we see a simplistic design with a floating 15-inch touchscreen. Now, I like to call Tesla's giant expensive golf carts because of their simplicity. You'll find that the stock comes from Mercedes, super simple, down to drive, up to reverse, push into park, and you'll also see that clearly you have no instrument cluster here. Everything is situated on the left-hand side of your display here. So instead of looking forward, you're just gonna look slightly to the right. There's a ton of app access constantly being added with over-the-air software updates, but the basics remain with even your climate control as easy as dragging the stream across with your fingertip. You have a wireless charging pad to lay 2 phones on, and I wanna briefly touch on the gorgeous glass roof that extends from the front right down to the back. Now, this glass roof is actually 98% infrared and UVA and UVB protected, which means you can comfortably and safely enjoy how bright and open your cabinets. Let's take a look at the display for a minute and go over some of the controls. Okay, so everybody, we are here and this is our screen right now. So obviously you have your navigation on the right hand side here, and we have our overview of our car, so you can actually open the front here, you can unlock the doors, you can open the trunk, and of course you can open your charge port. But for now, for today's demo, all we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you the driver controls. So obviously you have your apps down here, you have your cameras. If you're going to hit that one, you see your side cameras, which have been accessed as well. Anytime you want to get out of something, all you have to do is just hit it again and it'll go away. This little guy down here though is actually where our controls are. So if we tap this guy here, we're going to see that it's very basic. It's almost set up like an iPhone to make it as simple as possible with a lot of toggling on and off of different settings that you want. So as you can see, we have 184 kilometers of range. As you can see, it's been put to full 100%. Now on the day-to-day, I do not recommend putting it to a full 100% because when you charge your battery to full all the time, you're actually going to degrade it over time. So the best thing to do is keep it in the sweet spot between the 80 or 90%, which you can, coming back here, charging, which you can actually drag here. So I would drag it to the 80 or 90% mark. That way it charges up, and then you don't want to let it dip below anywhere from like 5-10%. You don't want to typically, as a rule of thumb, let it dip below that point there. You can actually change your charge current. You can schedule your departure at certain locations. So you have a lot of different abilities here of what to do. So when we switch over to autopilot, again, we have very basic toggling on and off. I'm not going to get too much into this. Very basic overviews with your locks, with your lights. Again, it's as easy as toggling on and off a button, as easy as your cell phone. Now, when it comes to the harsh Canadian winters that we have here, owners of Teslas can expect up to a 20% battery depletion on these below zero temperatures. But that being said, there are some things that you can do, some rules of thumb to help you out. So first of all, if you were wondering for the rear wheel drive, we're going to talk about that. The battery lines the bottom of the Model 3, gives it just over 1,000 pounds extra, which means you have an even weight distribution and a low center of gravity, which gives you a little bit more stability on those slippery roads. Of course though, the dual motor all-wheel drive will always reign supreme, granting more control and more range, but it still succumbs to the cold like the rear-wheel drive. Now, one of the biggest things about maintaining your range in those cold winter months is when you are heating up your vehicle, which you can do from app access when it comes to Tesla, you want to make sure that your vehicle is still plugged in, because when your vehicle is plugged in, you're going to be drawing power from the power source. So say if it's a house or a building, as opposed to its own energy to warm these instruments and the vehicle itself up. So you want it to be progressive. It's just like your own vehicle with a gas-powered car. You wouldn't start her up and just jump right into it. You need it to slowly heat up to ensure that you have everything properly working in your vehicle. Now, obviously, this isn't always an option, but when you are plugged in at home or to some sort of charging system, you do want to make sure that you do heat up while you are still plugged in. It is the best practice because remember, a Tesla's happiest when it's driving and when it's plugged in. Well, there you have it. That's been your look at the 2022 Model 3 rear-wheel drive and long-range all-wheel drive. I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below, and if you want to pick up one of these bad boys, you got to contact us ASAP because they're going to go fast. Remember, nobody beats a deal from Fuel. See you next time.